Hello, my name is Antje Reutsch. I'm a licensed massage therapist. And yesterday was a beautiful day. And if you are like me, you were outside in the garden and had some fun and did a lot of physical work. So today it's nice and rainy, so it's a good time to be home and take care of your body. Um, I wanted to just work on hands and arms today. That's always an area that I need the most work with. So I thought I'll lead you through a few little things that one can do. You can do them. These are all great to do for yourself. You can at some point do that with a partner. But all the stretches, you know, everybody should do for themselves. And in between, before you start to work and afterwards, would be great to do some stretching. So the muscles that we mostly use when we do any gripping, holding gardening tools, so that's, the gripping muscles. And these run here on the inside. And you can, if you grip your let's move in the picture. If you pull your fist together, you can feel those muscles contracting. And these up here on top, you can feel whenever you move your hand. But, the tight, when I'm gripping really tight, I feel like, wow, here they contract as well. So you have them here on top. They come together here at the, on top of the elbow and here on the bottom. So these are the attachments that we want to work on. And okay, so just a little anatomy. What I like to do is just to do some gentle stretching. So with this one, I'm giving this area a nice stretch and try to keep your shoulders down. Don't do that. I'm just noticing that in my body. I tend to do that. And you can see that. Okay, that's a good view. So I'm holding on to my hand, to my fingers, and just gently straighten my arm and pulling my hand back. That stretches all these muscles. And just breathe into it. Do a few breaths in that stretch to the other side. And then the reverse. And you can do that if you find a wall leaning into that, but you can also do it with your hand. You see that? All right. So this is stretching whole the insides. Okay. And then the fingers, they already, you already got the wrist moved, and do the fingers by itself. I'm sort of, that doesn't work. So I'm doing it as much as a right angle as I can, and then stretch each finger, and then the thumb a little bit too. Yeah. So, and if you just move that, you feel your arm rotate. That stretches a whole bunch of different angles of the arm muscles. So that's nice. But don't do anything that hurts. None of this should hurt. So if you feel like, oh, that is too much, don't do it. Then, there's something too tight. You don't want to cause any pain. All right. And the drawback with working on your own hands is, move you into the picture, is when I'm massaging my hands, I need to use my other hand, so that gets tight. So I'm trying to figure out ways to use my arm. Like if I'm doing this, I'm using my leg to bounce my arm on, or you can use a table or whatever you have to keep that arm stable, and then I'm just using the other arm to slide over the muscles, and I'm slowly rotating the arm so I have different muscles up on top. So that's easier to move the arm that is getting massaged. And then you can find a nice spot. So the knee or the leg can act as a point of contact that is very specific. And then I can pin the whole arm down with the other one and just hang out here, and I can move the hand and I feel the muscles move from the bottom and from the top. So that's a nice way to work those tight forearm muscles. This is feeling really good. You can put some pressure on, and if I was more on a table, I could put more downward pressure on. I really like, I know that about my arms. I like a lot of pressure on them. So that's good. Can you still see that? Let's move the other way. So try to keep that hand as relaxed as you can. Okay, so that's the forearms. That's pretty good. Then you can, the palms of your hand, I can use this area to press into the other side. That works pretty good. Yeah, the palms of the base of the thumb, that often gets really tight when you do a lot of gripping. So that feels good. And it's amazing how tender just the hands get. So, here I'm using either you can use your thumb, you can use your knuckles. That doesn't strain the giving hand. And switch back and forth. Yeah, that's good. Let's see, what can you do on the top? It doesn't really feel that, for me at least, it's all right, but it's not necessarily inside as much more. Oh, yeah. And then, work on each finger, do a little pulling, do a little rotation. And you can, if you use the full hand and squeeze and twist a little bit and pull, that doesn't use so much of the smaller muscles. So rather than, doing this, just take your whole hand, and that you can give it a nice squeeze, a slight little rotation, and a pull, just gently pulling out. That feels already really good. Do it with the next finger, little squeeze, rotation, and pull. Oh, and yeah, and the rotation of the joints is really nice to do. Okay, so you do that on all fingers, thumb, and then the other hand. I'm not gonna go all through that. That's pretty much it what you can do, and just, I'm actually trying to okay, so when muscles get tight, they they like to be worked all the way through the range of motion. When you have repetitive movements, they just move like this much of the range. And in order for muscles to reset again to neutral, they need to be stretched all the way to the range so they can reset. So what I'm sometimes doing is, if I feel like I haven't really moved them through the whole range, you can, just by doing something like that, exhaust your muscles a little bit so that they fatigue and on purpose work through the whole range, so that I start to feel okay, they're starting to get a little tired. Okay, I feel it. And then you just do a gentle stretch. And then the other way. And then you just let them rest. And that makes them pull back all the way into a neutral position. So that's my tips for working your hands, and enjoy that. The those stretches is really good to do before you do any work and afterwards.